Welcome, everybody, to the Nintendo Show special. We are talking the Xbox Showcase 2020, the month of July. Trev, we just saw some big games. With me, as always, my co-host, my pal, my buddy, making the magic happen behind the scenes, Trevor Payne.
Partners in crime, baby. Oh,
Dude.
boy. Them Vidya games.
Them video games, they're real hot right now. They're doing good stuff. Trev, let's talk. So we're just going to do rundown. This is a loosey-goosey episode. We're going to go through all the magic that happened here on the Xbox Showcase. Let's start out with the big kahuna, the guy that started out this whole thing. Halo Infinite, dude. It showed its face. It showed its beautiful face.
And
Master Chief.
it showed more than just it showed more than just a trailer, too. Like, it showed a good amount of gameplay. Like, it showed the classic, gameplay loop of Halo of, like, getting up close and punching and the shooting and using your environment. And, where do we start, Dev? Like,
so this is, here's my thing. Love it. Love the open world. Love the look of it. It feels a little like, I like that they kept the running. I understand some people wanted the old way, the slow Master Chief. I like the running, especially in a big open world like that. Love me a good hook shot. I'm a Zelda fan. What can I say? I love me a good hook shot. So we got ourselves a little hook shot action, which is nice for movement around this giant open world. It looks like we have an open world map from what I saw. My only concern is that I do not want it to be I don't want it to lose the narrative too much. Does that make sense? I want it to be linear enough, but open world enough. And I worry it might be Assassin's Creed, which is like go find a base and kill the enemies in the base.
Extract it. Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my only worry, because the gameplay we saw looked very much like that, where it's like pinpoint, go to the base, kill the enemies in the base, press the button, which is a lot of Halo. I understand that is a lot of Halo, but that is my only worry with that one.
Yeah, I like the idea of having this open world. Like part of that, like I'm excited about, but I think you're right. I don't want it to lose its story and its narrative by being this open world, because sometimes with that, like, you lose a little bit of like the guidance, the direction, and moving the story along. But it might be kind of fun too, though, like to be able to be like, hey, I'm gonna go do some side quests, I'm gonna do that might be kind of interesting.
That might be cool. And I think if they're interesting enough is my only thing. I don't want it to just be go to the base, press the button. That's my only worry.
Right.
If they're interesting enough side things, I'm totally down, and different characters and stuff like that. I'm totally interested in that. I like this new co-pilot dude that he's got. I think since Cortana is gone, they need that voice in the head. Seems like he might be a good replacement for a little bit. I'm sure Cortana will be back. Trev, did I miss something? Did I have a coma? What happened in Halo 5?
Dude, I was going to ask you that.
I kind of skipped past it.
Well, I feel like, and I've played it a couple times, but I can't remember the story. I know that there's like a guy named Locke, Spartan Locke something. And
he's chasing Master Chief?
I don't know. Like, I need to go freshen up on that, so I'm ready for this. But
this one, I'm like, it's like totally, there's brutes, and and then he killed everyone. And there was people living on this Halo, and and at the beginning of the game, it's like 100 and something days.
Because remember, like he was in space, just floating around in his exosuit and his Mjolnir armor, just floating around. And then this guy, I guess, was like on the ship that was locked down. I don't know, lost in space.
How did he get in space? How did Master Chief get in space?
We got to go back and play that game just to understand, or watch some YouTube videos, because I can't remember. It's been too long.
Yeah, and I didn't like that game, so I think I just kind of went brain dead half of the time.
It's not that I didn't like it. I mean, like there was moments, but I do think it was like one of the weaker ones for sure.
Definitely, in my opinion, the weakest, at least story wise. So I'm interested. I like the visual, like the new arts. Our new art style looks good. Everything looks very Halo.
Looks Oh, the vista, like when
Halo?
you're going up that elevator and looking out over, the world, and you could just see like, oh my gosh, like it is so vast and huge. Like that looked really cool. That looked fun. That looked exciting.
Dude, it's a good looking Xbox One game.
Yeah.
It's a good looking Xbox One game. I'm really excited to see where this series goes, and I like the direction. I just want to make sure that we don't lose story.
Sure.
And that if we're going to do side quests, that we make them not just like, oh, we have a lot of stuff, that we have interesting stuff.
Like interesting stuff. Not just like, hey, we got here's all the little things you got to go, because sometimes I feel like the Ubisoft games are too like icon heavy of all these things to do, and a lot of them are kind of pointless and don't have any real impact on story. So I think you're right. As long as they tone it down and they have it like impactful, I think story, Halo has such an incredible lore and story and everything. Like between the books, the comics, the games, all these things, like there's rich history in the Halo universe, and I think we're going to get a really cool story here because first of all, it seems like the antagonist of the game, that brute dude looked so cool, and and the voice acting and whatever was about it, like just pulled me in. Like I was intrigued to learn about his story, and so I'm quite excited about that, and especially that we're getting away from like the Forerunner, whatever it was.
There's the other thing. Like it's like what's weird to me. It's like Halo 4 and 5 almost didn't even happen because I'm like there's brutes here, and there's like some war going on with these like things I've never heard of. I'm like, who are these people?
What's happening here?
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, the last time I was here, there was Forerunner, and but now it's like this whole different thing. I don't know, dude. I would be interested.
Maybe they'll do like a previously on Halo.
It must be, dude. Or maybe it like goes back. Maybe what it is, it's like open world, when in the now, but you go back in time, and that's like the linear like big set piece stuff. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. But
it's in the future. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It is.
It could do that stuff.
It's interesting. It looks good. I felt like they did a really good job presenting it too. So great job, Microsoft.
Yep.
That looked awesome.
Dude.
I'm excited. I want to know more. I want to play. So when they start off, it said like press the start button or menu button or whatever for demo. Dude. And I was like, oh no, they're going to launch a demo. They're going to let people play this. Like I got too excited. I mean,
no, I got you.
That was my hopes, have some kind of demo or something. But man, that sure was fun. That was my highlight.
Yeah, dude, seeing the Pelican and all that stuff. Trev, on the very bottom of this list is where it begins, by the way. It's like a reverse. Sweet. So State of Decay 3. Here it is. Again, another State of Decay.
I mean, they've pumped these out like just one after another. Now,
we just had the second one, dude, like last year.
Now, I mean, like the second one, it graphically, and I just feel like it was more of just like hurry, put it out. It just didn't feel like there was a lot behind it. Dude. I wonder if they're gonna. I don't know. This one, they didn't really show any gameplay either. This was just a trailer, right? If I remember.
Yeah, it was just a trailer. A deer eating a wolf.
Yeah, this was.
You gotta watch out for those wild deer.
Those wild deer, man! Like this thing was gross, and I liked that the deer was eating the wolf. Like that was kind of cool.
Good switch up.
Man, the atmosphere though of it, I thought was really cool. Just wanting to pull you in, and these games are really neat about like building up your little development and like surviving together. And I'm curious. I definitely will play another one, especially if they've learned from the last couple games. Seems cool.
I think the idea is really good. Like what their concept is cool, but I think like them as a studio just hasn't shown me that they like are past the indie stage. Like it just feels a little clunky, a little
it always feels a little janky.
A little janky. So I hope on this one they kind of push past that jankiness, and we'll see what happens with it. Other than that, I mean, there's not much more to say about it. It's probably more State of Decay.
Right.
Speaking of more of the same, but actually prettier, we got Forza Motorsport showed itself. This game as the one that I thought this looks next gen. Halo also looked next gen. but I also could see it running on the Xbox
Oh, totally.
One.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, for the Forza Motorsport, this looks amazing. To me, it looks better than Gran Turismo. I'm not into, like you said, Trev, dude. I'm not into this old, like the real racer kind of stuff. I'm
No,
more
the
a Horizon
simulation
guy.
stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like more the arcadey. And so I mean, like this is going to be huge for people that love those
it
games.
is.
I'm excited for them. And then this just means that next year we'll get a Horizon, game, Horizon 5 or 4 or whatever the
Yeah,
next
or
one
whatever
is. I
it
can't
is.
remember. But so,
Yeah.
I mean, like that's cool. More Forza. It's a good way to show off your new console.
Yeah. So there's Forza Everwild. This was like
This is like
very.
honestly my secret
I want
game
it.
that I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
Graphically, here, I'm gonna skip forward a little. It looks really cool. Honestly, it looks like a cool that Dragon Prince thing on Netflix. That art
Oh
style.
yeah. Yeah, you're
It's
right.
very
It
much
does.
that. It looks really pretty.
Like a better version of Dragon Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
Yep.
looks very cool. It seems like there's going to be some cool story involved here. There's like these animals, and there's like this cohesion between humans and these animals and magic, and working together. I don't know what the game's going to be, but
Exactly.
I'm excited. Like whatever this
Yeah.
was, it was effective. It got me excited to want to pay attention to the news that comes in the coming months, years, whatever it is.
I mean, I hate to be a bummer. I love Rare. I love their ideas and I love the look. But every time I play a Rare game recently, I'm not impressed with the gameplay. And so when I see these like really cool, like, visuals
Mhm.
and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, this like was Sea of Thieves for me. But then when I played Sea of Thieves, I mean, I know it's improved. I get it. Everyone, I
It's a
get
great game, Dev.
I get it.
It's amazing
People
right
love
now.
it. It's great when you're all together. But I don't think mechanically Sea of Thieves, I don't know unless it's really changed, was very impressive. I thought the shooting was bad.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
I don't, I mean, it just wasn't, and like hitting sword fighting, combat, like I don't think the gameplay was very good. I think the multiplayer aspect, being a pirate and the visuals was awesome.
Yep.
So I guess my worry with the Rare games these days is just like,
How's the gameplay going to
what's the
match?
gameplay?
Yeah.
That's what matters most to me when I see a Rare title nowadays. So I wish they would show that, but like visually, it's outstanding. It's like a mix of like real hand-drawn art with 3D wrap coding. I
Right.
dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm
next
I'm
up,
intrigued. I want to know more.
yeah. Next up was Tell Me Why. This was just another story-based game. It looked cool. Like it looked like an interesting story. It looked like one I would be interested to see what's kind of going on with this family.
Yeah, it's family. Something about like the mom tried to kill the son,
killed the kid,
which
and
is
he
real
killed
creepy
her,
and weird.
something
And
like
yeah,
that.
and then
Yeah.
they go back, brother and sister, try to get some closure, and they can like see like things that happened in the past or something. I have no idea. It seems very Life is Strange esque as far as storytelling. Visually, I mean, it looks nice. It definitely has a look to it. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. I mean, I guess the look is it looks very Life is Strange. So that's kind of all I can say about it. But I want to know more. I just don't know how fun it would be to play.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, yeah, it's very heavy, it seems like. But I like I like the Oregon-ness of it all.
Sure.
I love the Twin Peaks-ness, the Life is Strange like kind of
Sure.
games. So, I mean, it's interesting. Visually, not outstanding. Very much like Life is Strange, where you're like, okay, it's passable. It's
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah.
But nothing that you're like, whoa, man. Yeah. So
Next
it's
gen.
fine.
Yeah.
Next gen. Nope. Ori and the Will of the Wisps showed up.
It's
and they were like,
more Ori. It's going to be an updated version. Basically, it's an updated version coming to the Series X. It'll be able to run at 120 frames a second. I don't know. They said it'll run at 4K, 120.
4K, 120. It looked better, I guess. They were like showing frame by frame shots, and that kind of weirded me out because it was like you're showing that it has a higher frame rate by going through a slow motion video.
Well, because you can tell, because they can't, like, if they just give us 120, like everybody's most likely watching on a 60.
That's true. That's a good point. It
You
doesn't go
on a screen that
more
only
than
60 hertz
That's
or
a good
whatever.
point.
So
That's
they
right, I
have to
forgot about that.
slow it down so that way you can see the choppiness of a 60
Yeah,
compared to
that's
the
true.
120. But like,
Okay.
it's funny because some people can't even tell. Like, I show my wife and she's like, I have no idea the difference. Like, this looks the same. Where me, I'm like, dude, it's night and day.
Yeah.
So whatever. But more Ori, I guess it is just the same Ori. Whatever.
Same game. Yep,
Same game. Give it
you
to
haven't
me.
played it? It's a good way to play it there. Outer Worlds, The Peril of Gorgon. This is being done just as a little expansion pass.
Yep.
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked good. It was funny because we're like, we've seen this before. Like, we've seen this art style. This is very interesting, and then it's just like, oh yeah, it is. It's because it's that game. Like, it is totally the Outer Worlds, and it makes sense. Makes sense that they do some DLC for it. Like, very much like a Fallout style game. They usually add some good DLC to it. So.
Yeah, and the humor was fun. They got some inebriated robots, which is always a good time.
I mean,
get those robots drunk. Then we got Grounded, which is kind of...
Which we've seen, but we got to see a little bit more gameplay. We got to get a few more details. It looks cool. Like, I really like the look of it. Everything is very vibrant and colorful. And you're a shrunken down little human living in a backyard somewhere, and it's about survival. You gather with your friends, and you survive. I liked this little cyberpunk thing. Like, if you're looking for the most intense whatever game, wait for Cyberpunk. But if you're looking for... like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
And like,
it reminds me of, I don't know, like Fortnite without all the before it was
before it was an actual
battle royale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Rust, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
Rust too. Yeah, that's
you're gonna build, you're gonna survive, you're fighting all these big bugs, spiders, and stuff. This game looks really fun.
Yeah, it's just more like a kiddie version of those. I mean, Fortnite's kind of kiddie, but I do like the look. I love Honey Shrunk the Kids kind of stuff. I'm a 90s kid. What can I say? It is what it is, man. So is there more of that? Obsidian.
Next one.
See.
Let's see.
A whole bunch of words here.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of words.
The next one, so they showed their RPG that their next RPG that they're working on. It was very Skyrim-y, first-person shooter, or not first-person shooter, first-person perspective.
Yep.
A dude wielding sword magic.
Yep. It's called Avowed. Looked interesting. Looked cool. Definitely have a while, I'm sure, before we see anything about that. Again, these are just lots of trailers. I mean, that's why we don't have much to say about some of these things. Death Falls. That was a new interactive drama, spans 30 years. This was the French one me and Trevor totally making fun of the whole time. The art style looked cool.
Yeah.
Although it was kind of graphic novel-y, which means like the humans weren't really
animating. It was more like so it's just kind of like the movement in the background would move, but then like the characters were like still for like it was like turning a page in a comic book. I don't. That's not going to be the game. Like, I'm sure of it. No. That is more of, I think, going to be the interstitial like cut scenes and stuff. But again, we just don't know what the game is going to be. Stay tuned.
Just probably another graphic novel game, which is fine, but they're just kind of they are what they are. I mean, it's a certain kind of audience. Hellblade 2 showed itself, and Trev, this one was a bummer.
Yeah, dude, like I wanted more. Show me more.
What are we doing? Like, why did we even show Hellblade during the game show? Like Game Awards show. Sure. I don't understand, like, because this is not even close, dude. It's running on freaking 5. What was it? Sorry. The engine 5 something.
Unreal Engine?
Unreal 5, yeah. Unreal 5, which we know isn't coming out for a couple of years.
Yeah. So this isn't a game coming up soon. Honestly, I think they pulled the trigger on this a little too early.
Way too soon.
Like, they announced that such a long time ago, and then to find out that, okay, they didn't put a release date on it, but if we know it's on Unreal Engine 5, like you said, it's not going to be available until earliest 21, right? Or 22?
21 to maybe
somewhere around there.
I think 22. And I think, honestly, that's I don't know, dude. So we're like that. It might be 4 years since the time the Game Award show was when this comes out, or longer. Who knows? I don't know.
Sure.
It's very weird that they even showed that then. I would have showed that trailer now.
Yeah, maybe even that. Like maybe just announce that, hey, we are working. Like obviously, it was big news that Microsoft bought Ninja Theory, and brought them into their stable of developers, and which I think is an awesome thing. I think that is exciting. But I think they've started showing this way too early. They should have waited till they're like a year out and get everybody hyped. Because honestly, like you and I, we're both very hyped for this game and excited and want to know more, but we're not going to get it. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get it for a while.
They didn't show anything, man.
They just showed the same kind of cutscene, whatever.
Not even that. It was
not even that. Yeah, it was.
And then like check out our documentary of Iceland. And I'm like, okay,
sure.
I guess I could do that on Discovery too, but that's fine.
I also want to know about your game.
Yeah, I would like to know more about the game more than Iceland, but okay.
Jack Black.
Dude, Jack Black showed up, gave us a little soundtrack. We got all psyched out with some Psychonauts 2. Mm-hmm. This game looked like Psychonauts. Looks more of the same. Again, it's not a big jump. This is coming on your Xbox One, coming on everything basically right now. It looks cool. I mean, I love Psychonauts.
Yeah, it looks cool. You know, I think Psychonauts could have been like, I'm excited about it, but I feel like Psychonauts could have been like the Ratchet and Clank, you know, mirror for Xbox, because like it just, but like there wasn't graphically, it didn't look like anything to
nothing good
be crazy excited about, and I think you know, I feel like. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just that the game isn't going to look as good as Ratchet, obviously.
Well, it doesn't. And it wanted it to be a little harsh. It kind of looks 360-ish in ways.
Sure.
You know, it's not impressive. It's not an impressive game, and it's just because these guys they were making this game before they got bought out by Xbox.
Totally.
And they're a smaller team. They have been. Hopefully, Xbox can add that money so they can do bigger games and have fun with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, more Psychonauts 2. I didn't get more from this than I got from the other trailers. I even thought the other trailers might have been better. Love Jack Black, but
I just love seeing that man. He makes me smile.
Yeah, dude. He's he's one of those that just brings a smile right away. Destiny 2 coming to your Series X. Cool. 4K, 60 frames per second. Gonna have higher visuals. Probably going to look like your PC Destiny 2, most likely.
Yeah.
Also coming to Game Pass, so you can play it anywhere, which is cool.
You know, that's this is the part of the show that was kind of interesting, Dev, where they're like console launch exclusive. And so because they've always, I mean, not always, but recently have stated like, our games are going to launch PC, Xbox, day and date. And so this was kind of interesting that there are going to be actual exclusives at launch for console, for Xbox Series X, and not launch on PC. Right? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, or is the wording...
I hate their wording. It's always so cryptic, dude.
Exactly. It's cryptic. I'm wondering, is the wording that, guess what? This isn't only on Xbox. These are PlayStation games. Stalker 2, maybe. Warhammer, I think, could be a PlayStation thing. Yeah, dude.
I think, but they're saying launch exclusive. I think they're going to come out on console exclusively for a certain amount of time and then go to PlayStation, is my guess.
But Trev, look at the. Okay, so here's look at this one. This one, the Gunk says it's coming to the PC. Tetris Effect is on the PC.
So maybe they are launching
coming to
PC and Xbox.
So they're just
not going to PlayStation 5 initially.
Okay.
Maybe that's so weird. And again, every year when Microsoft does these things, their wording is always so weird, and everybody has to try to decipher what they're meaning.
Yeah, decipher.
Oh, this is the thing about Xbox that I hate. That drives me nuts.
Dirty stuff.
It is.
So we got Stalker 2 that showed up. Creepy.
Yeah.
Wasteland stuff. It looked like it was in Chernobyl.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks fine. It's hard with these kind of games.
I know some people love Stalker. So I honestly, I don't know too much about that series.
I don't know much about it either.
So I would be curious to dive into it. I'd like to just see more gameplay, I think, because we just saw a lot of more pre-rendered stuff. So
yeah. Next is Warhammer for 40,000 Dark Tide. This is a first-person shooter in the Warhammer series. Looked really cool, man. I love the visuals of Warhammer. This looked really cool. Their suits, all that kind of stuff. Again, just another trailer, but
Space
it
Marines.
looked really cool.
And then there's just like a bunch of zombie-looking dudes or whatever that they look like they're gonna fight. So this seems like the gameplay will probably. Did you ever play Vermintide?
I never did.
Okay, it is very much. It is a clone essentially of Left 4 Dead. And which was super fun, and I love it. And that was in like the normal Warhammer lore. And then this is 40K, which seems like it's going to be the same type of game, but just in the 40K universe. Some more sci-fi guns, space orcs, space marines, stuff like that.
That makes sense.
So
we're probably
totally
getting another Left 4 Dead type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the co-op stuff is so fun. And like picking your different class or whatever it is, your character that has different abilities working together. It's super fun.
Dig it. The other one is The Gunk. This is from the creators of SteamWorld, which is good news. SteamWorld is good stuff.
Yeah.
I love their games, but they usually do 2D stuff. The Gunk is a 3D. Very much Psychonaut looking kind of camera view there. It looked like a platformer.
I mean, it looked way better than Psychonauts, let's be honest, as far as graphically. Visually looked amazing, but third person, you're behind this character and you're sucking up gunk, you're cleaning the earth or something is what it looked like.
With your little robot hand.
With your robot gunk hand.
I mean, I don't know. And then you made the earth prettier and things got better, which we've seen this before. That's not a new thing. You clean it up and you get a brand new thing you can jump on or whatnot. Yeah, exactly. Flower, classic. Dude. So that's something. I'm not sure about it because from the gameplay I saw, I wasn't like, heck yeah, this is a real platformer. It was more like, okay, it's okay. It's not a Mario.
Sure.
It's okay.
Yep.
But I do have faith in those guys. SteamWorld guys, they do great work.
They do some fantastic stuff.
Dude,
this next one, I'm actually really excited about, man.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. The Medium. This is the new trailer. Looks cool.
Oh, not this. Oh, I thought we were going to Fantasy Star.
Never mind. Star Online. No.
Medium looks disgusting. This is a your joint, man.
Yes, it is.
No way.
This looked very much like. So it's like your Silent Hill, your Remedies, your weirdness, third person kind of stuff, dual realities, horrific kind of stuff. I dig it. I'm down for that.
Too
it looks
scary.
More of this. It looks cool to me, but yeah. Phantasy Star Online 2 gets a new expansive world. New Genesis is what it's called. We got new expansive world, unknown threats, and plenty of flashy action.
Dude, it looked cool though. It looked way better than what's currently out there, obviously, and it looked fresh. I enjoy Phantasy Star. I'm excited that the partnership between Sega and Microsoft it looks like it's paying off. It's doing well for them. So cool. More stuff. I'm down. I like it. It looked cool. This is one of my highlights.
More expansion stuff. I think, it was actually. It was pretty cool looking. The combat looks really fun in that game. I need to try that out. Crossfire. What is Crossfire?
Remember, is that free to play? Yeah, it was like we were initially thinking it it's kind of like a military shooter.
The one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remedy.
This is the Remedy game.
Yep.
This one looked really cool, actually. Yeah, Remedy's version of a first-person shooter. I got some straight up Konami vibes. There was some weirdness in there that I thought maybe story-wise we might get some Konami weirdness. Wingsuits are involved. Trev's really down. I mean, the wingsuits will carry you home.
They always.
Yep, and dude, it looked good. It looked fun. Another trailer.
Yep,
but it looked fun. And lastly,
this was a fun little surprise.
Go for it. We got Fable 4, dude. Or Fable.
Well, we don't know. It's just Fable. They didn't put a number.
They didn't. Yeah, these people say Fable 4. You're wrong. It's just Fable. So it makes me think this is a reboot. We're getting a completely revamping the whole series.
Chicken chaser.
I think that they kept the humor, which is cool. With the trailer, you could tell that they kept that humor, which is really fun.
We didn't see any gameplay. We didn't see anything like details. But the fact that they just came out saying We are working on it. It is a real thing. That is exciting to know that within, in the coming years, Dev, it might not be for a couple of years, but in the coming years, we're going to get a Fable game. That gives me hope that it's coming back, or it is coming back. Because for the longest time, I was like, you guys own Fable.
Yeah.
Like, do something with this franchise that is so beloved. Like, do something with it. And so to know that someone is working on it, Playground Studios, right?
Yeah, Playground.
Cool.
Yep, the guys. So these are the guys that do the Horizon race games.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, dude. So here's the thing: they do some amazing looking open worlds. So my hope is that visually this will be an outstanding game, and I think they use where you scan in real environments.
Oh, I think that's how the photogram me or whatever. Where basically they're using like real images and laying it over objects in the game just to give this like picture photorealistic, right? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So if they do that with this Fable game, it'll be really cool, real next gen. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I think they have the clout to do it, and I'm glad they kept the humor. From that just little trailer, that the little eating the fairy with the the
toad
frog.
Or whatever, and it seems like I love that game's style of humor, that very British,
English
over the top English,
exactly.
like some chicken chaser.
I love it. It'd be cool to see what's his name, Mononews Dream. Yeah, at the beginning he said like you would plant a tree and then grow and all that stuff. It would be cool to like see that dream realized, because I think in this generation we can realize those kind of crazy, outlandish things that he planned,
envisioned, and
and I hope they stick with that. I
hope so too.
That's what I like about Fable, is that it was a little weird in that way. It wasn't like Assassin's Creed or other games where it was just about the action, or like a Witcher 3 where it's just about like going on quest, which is fine. You can do that. And I hope they do that. Like open world games have changed. But I do want to see like that like you can have a family and they grow with you, and think, like time is involved in age and seeing things grow around you. I think that'd be cool. I hope they stick with that dream in some way.
I hope so too, because like Molyneux, like obviously like he was very like would think of these cool things, they would never pan out, like it was always like pie in the sky type stuff. But I love that he at least had when developing a lot of these games these really cool ideas, and maybe they can actually bring them to pass. That would be pretty cool. So
yeah, he had vision up the butt, and they followed it. Dude, so that was the Xbox showcase. That was the full Monty. That was the whole thing.
It was good.
How you feeling overall, dude?
I felt good about it. Like honestly, like that was a fun show of games. I think there were some, I don't know, wet farts along the way, think like those moments where I'm like, okay, this time I'm gonna take a drink, I'm gonna like
Tetris Effect, we totally like skipped over that. Great game, but dude,
but why? We didn't need to show Destiny, we didn't need to show Tetris Effect, we didn't need to show even Ori. Like these games, I mean, like these could have been just like Twitter posts, like, "Hey, cool, this stuff's coming. We're doing updates. Great." This showcase, I feel like, should have been just only the new things coming. But I mean, obviously, I think they needed to throw in little padding and stuff like that, and they're trying to. I mean, they didn't need to. I guess they just straight up didn't need to.
They were worried. I don't know. Maybe they were worried about PlayStation. I mean, that PlayStation conference, Trev, was like an hour and 30 minutes long.
It was long.
It was outrageous. For me, I'm feeling pretty good. I wish I saw more things that I was hoping we would see, but I'm glad we saw Fable. That was a big deal. And I'm glad we saw Halo Infinite the way we did. I think it's pretty cool. Those are big standouts. In between, there are some good ones that I'm interested in, but there's a lot of unknowns. And that's the problem with Xbox, is that it's in a state where we have so many new games and unknowns because they just haven't worked on first party stuff as much.
Yeah, totally.
PlayStation has a lot of names. They
got a lot of history there that they can.
They have a lot of history.
And they proved themselves too. Like people know, okay, so when I see a Spider-Man game or I see God of War or I see by all these different developers, they know what to expect because they've made these amazing games. And with a lot of this, like these are brand new studios to Microsoft, and so I'm hoping with the catalog of developers that they have now, that they're able to turn out some really cool stuff. You're right. I think there's a lot to be seen. There's a lot we have to wait and see. But this did get me excited. This did get me jazzed about Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We're probably, I mean, to me, overall, I think PlayStation had a better conference in some ways because, okay, so Xbox has the better console, better graphics. We all know that. But when I see this overall, I didn't almost see any next-gen games without trailers, like just gameplay.
Right.
When I think Sony, when I watched Sony, I saw a few, and that makes me go.
There's a couple that you're like, that's a next gen game for sure.
Horizon was impressive. When you saw Horizon, you were like, "Holy crap!" And when you saw Ratchet and Clank, you were like, "Okay."
You're like, I see where they're going. Like, I get it. I get this. You're right. You're right.
This one, I didn't. I mean, I saw the racing game, and I said, "Okay." This looked really good, and it's really amazing. I see Halo, and those open worlds are insane. Those are crazy cool. But I mean, there's some good looking games right now. There's some good games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I mean, it's beautiful, but I'm not quite impressed enough that this is the next gen. Again, I'm having that problem where I'm like, do I just buy Halo on my Xbox One? I have one. Do I just get Game Pass and pay $15 and just wait till Halo until the Xbox Series X is better?
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly,
or how much better is it?
It is going to be better, dude. Because like we have 4 Xboxes in our house. We have everything from the OG VCR looking thing to the S to the X, and I see the difference between each of those consoles. Like when I play on my kids' Xbox One S's, I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good at all. And then just simply going to my Xbox X, I hate their naming, by the way. Their Xbox One X, things do look a lot better and play a lot better. So I do think that you're gonna see a huge difference jumping up to these other machines,
consoles. And I believe it. I just wonder what's the difference in Halo. I would like to see. I would like them to be like, okay,
here's an
Xbox
by side.
One, and and here's your Series X. What's the difference? Why am I buying a Halo on a console that I don't own yet?
Yeah, show some load time, show some resolution stuff, show some textures,
draw distance, textures, lighting.
Like, hey, this is what you're getting for getting the new system. This is why it's so important to play it on this new system.
Exactly. So for me, I think this it scores a little lower for me, barely, than the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation conference. I think PlayStation for me was like maybe a B, and I give this like a B minus, somewhere around there. Yeah. It did its job. It did really well, and I'm excited for the games that are coming. So
yeah, I would say this scores for me personally about the same. There was a lot in the PlayStation 1 that I was just like, same thing, like cool, I guess, and so except for they did have some really heavy hitters that I'm excited about. I think the reason why I feel so hyped about this one though, Devin, is probably Halo, just because that is I've read every single Halo book, I've read every single Halo comic. I think that's why, because it really hit home for me. But I would probably put them about the same. I'm right there with you. So
this is why, guys. I mean, this is what really got me into like first-person shooters, multiplayer games, got me into Xbox in general, was that one game. And if Halo Infinite is that good, it will get me into this console just like it did in the original Xbox series. Totally. We started this whole thing about the original Xbox, and it's the same thing here. If you show me Halo and it's that influential and that different, and I think I will buy an Xbox Series X for sure on day one, for sure. And eventually I will buy it because
eventually it'll just happen. I know. I keep telling myself, I'm like, I can play it all on my PC. I'm gonna get one. Like, let's just be honest. We are broken human beings, Steph.
We are. We sadly are. Dude, that was a great.
It was fun though. It was a good showing. I think they did a good job, and I do like. So the PlayStation one was just trailer. Like this, I liked that there was trailer, and then like. Maybe this is just me. I don't know, but there was a little bit of chatting to give a little bit of context, just a little bit of like humanity or whatever to it. That there's people behind these games. I like that, and so I like that they did these little moments in between, and I felt really good to me. So I liked the pacing of that quite a bit.
The pacing was less exhaustive. I felt very tired after PlayStation.
Oh my gosh, dude. I had such a headache after that show. Not only because we were having technical issues, but but just everything. I was like, oh my gosh, my head hurts so bad.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it was a lot. And so I'm glad the length, I think the pacing, I think all that was good.
Yep.
Again, more gameplay. There's so many games that look the same without the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like it's always zombies, somewhere in the woods, Oregon, horror, like it's all the same.
Yeah.
And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like,
a lot of samesies.
I've played this before. So show me the gameplay, why it's different, and then I'll be in.
Yep.
But right now,
I'm with you.
Just need that gameplay, guys. And guys, apparently there's more Xbox stuff coming. We're going to see a new showcase or something showing their other studios, which is where they didn't put them in here.
They said there's going to be more later on. Yeah, later on this year.
So we'll see what happens.
That'll be cool. You know, another showing. And the other thing too, Dev, now both of these big game consoles are out. They've shown their games. Now we need to know more about the actual hardware. We need to know about what the interface looks like. We need to know about the cool little things you can do while you're playing your games. We need to know about the money, the price, the cost. There is so many rumors floating around out there that I'm just curious to find out when these things are launching and how much they're going to cost.
Yep. And dude, to be honest, looking at this year, we're looking at Halo and Spider-Man as the big kahunas for both of those consoles. Switch, as much as I've been giving it crap, and honestly, these directs have been horrible, and their whole thing has been really weird this year.
It's strange.
If they have a Mario game, you guys are just as good. Like you're just as fine.
You're in the running. Yeah.
Yeah. You only need one game this year, and to be honest, Cyberpunk's probably going to win you also. It's okay. But dude, I'm down for this. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the future. I love that Sony's holding on to some kind of games. Xbox is holding on to some games. So we'll see what happens here. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to the Nintendo Show, our special Xbox episode. We will probably have another one of these, it sounds like. We probably will have another PlayStation one. So as this big news happens, we will just let you know how it's going. This is not a common thing for us, though. We are the Nintendo Show. So if you're looking for Nintendo news, come right here. Listen to us. We are on all the podcast services of your choice. We're on Facebook. We're going to be moving on to Twitch here soon. We're on YouTube. We're going to look into Instagram and a whole bunch of other platforms. So we are in a whole bunch of places so you guys can check us out. And hopefully just make this thing grow with us. Help us grow it. It really is inspiring to have you guys there talking with us, communicating with our great fans. We very much appreciate you. And make sure your voice is known. Show it to friends, family, anyone that you think likes video games. It really does help out a lot for us. And that is it. Enough begging. Trev, that's all, man. Let's say bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Bye.